Welcome back. You are tuned in to IBL, inspired by Onika, speaking on life and inspiring people. Welcome to another episode of the IBO podcast, and this is episode 32, and the title is I Done Told You. Now, this episode would normally have been Poetry Flip, but instead of a poem, it's going to be a short story. So for anyone that's here for the first time, let me just give you a little background about the Poetry Flip series. So it is just a collection of poems that I've written, and I'm going to recite those poems. And I don't pick them in any particular order. It may be, say, if there's something going on in the world at the moment, I may pick that if I think is relevant to the time, or just randomly pick some. And if you ever want to see the written version of the poems or the short stories, you can visit my blog at www.inspirebyonika.com. That's INSPIREBYONIKA. So that's where you can find the written versions of anything that I'm reciting on Poetry Flip. And today I'm going to do a short story that I wrote back in December of 2022. So this one's a fairly old one. Now, in the blogging world, some writers, they will post an image and they will invite writers in to write a piece about that image. But just to keep it interesting, they will give you guidelines. They might say, you have to write a specific form of poetry, or they may say, write fiction, nonfiction, short story, whatever you want, but they may say there's a word limit, that there's a limit to the number of words you can have, so they might say no more than 50 words. Or they might say that your piece can be no more than 10 lines. So they'll give you different guidelines, and the thing that I most like about it is that we are all looking at the same image, but everyone has a different point of view and perspective. So that's what I find most interesting about it. So the writer will post the image, invite writers, write something about the image. And, I get to read all the different creativity that they come up with, and sometimes I join in, and so they can read what I've written as well. And also similar to that are the word prompts. So for example, they might say the word prompt this time will be, say, for example, the word pumpkin. So they'll say, write a piece based on this word. It has to be the first word of your piece and the last word. Or they'll just give different guidelines for you to use. They might say no more than 5 lines, so it just keeps it interesting. And so that's what the prompts are. So when you hear me say that this piece is written in response to a fellow blogger, that's what I mean. So they either going to post an image or a word, and they invite writers to join in and write a piece about the image or the word that they posted. So this particular short story that I'm going to do today is titled I Done Told You. Now, I know that most of you have heard that, especially when you were younger. An adult has said, I done told you about this or that, right? So, that's what's the title for this short story. And so the image for this particular one, this is a neon sign, and the neon sign reads, you have been warned. Okay, so you have been warned. And the moral of this story is to knock before you enter any closed door, because you never know what you're going to find on the other side of that door. So it's always best practice just to knock before you come in. All right, so I'm going to get started. So, all right, this is titled I Done Told You. Shakira was getting ready for her special date. She had all her, quote, accessories, unquote, lined up and ready to go. The wig that she just bought, the fake eyelashes, and press-on nails were all on the dresser in her bedroom. Suddenly, as she is sitting there at the vanity, getting pretty, she sees her teenage son in the mirror. He had just walked in without knocking. He got scared at the sight of this, quote, stranger, unquote, in his mom's room. There Shakira was, without her wig, nails, and lashes on, no makeup either. He ran out of the room. He came back with a baseball bat. "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" he demanded. "Where's my mom?" Shakira stood up in her bra and butt pads, turned around to face him. Then he realized who she was. She snapped at him. "I done told you about coming in my room without knocking first, boy. You don't listen. Now you got me all riled up. I'm going to be late getting ready for my date." Totally embarrassed by walking in and seeing his mom that way, he just walked out and went back to his room. That's a sight that he wants to forget sooner rather than later. Lesson learned. Never enter a room without knocking. You never know what you will find on the other side of that door. You have been warned. So, as you can see, this is why I say it's good practice to knock before you walk through any closed door. You don't know what's on the other side. And especially for anyone that has younger kids, they just gonna bust down the door. They don't care. They don't have any boundaries. They just gonna bust in the door, right? And the thing about it too, it's not just kids that do this. There are some grown-ups that do the same thing. They'll just walk in. They don't knock first or anything. Now, full disclosure, I have done this too a few times as an adult, but it's just never a good idea. I just wouldn't advise it. But anyway, this is the short story today. I done told you, and this was written back in December of 2022. And you can always visit my blog for the written version. And if you enjoyed this episode and you are listening on a streaming app, download, download, download. Like the episode. Also, share with a friend. Especially the ones that have the little kids, they like to bust in your room. Or if you just know someone that's notorious for doing that, just share. Also, subscribe. But if you have walked in on someone or someone has walked in on you and they were in for the shock of their lives, write a comment. Let us know about that. I'm sure there are some funny stories, there's some embarrassing ones. So, anyway, y'all, I want to thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more episodes. Until next time, stay well and be blessed. You can hear this episode and all episodes on the Podbean app, YouTube, and Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. Thank you again, and until next time. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the IBO podcast. You can hear this and all episodes on the Podbean app, YouTube, and Spotify. Until next time, stay well and be blessed.